This trend is called Satori. It's a word that refers to the experience of seeing into one's true nature, acquiring a new point of view in our dealings with life and the world, so a type of enlightenment. Clearly, one of the key events for 2020 will be the $12 billion Summer Olympics, and they'll take place from the 24th of July to the 9th of August. This trend encourages us to reflect on the art of living, to seek out and maintain a rhythm that feels natural, not forced, to avoid distractions, to reduce friction, and to control excess and covetousness, so common in modern society, by using discipline and groundedness as tools to carve out contentment. As the world becomes more complex and confusing, and we also attempt to navigate the online world, some consumers are becoming overwhelmed and they're not able or wanting to keep up. So they step off to the side and grasp onto what's real rather than virtual to follow a more moderate directive of their own that's more measured, building a stable network of values. And turning away from what is artificial to what is real will inevitably draw us towards nature. Nature pulls us to it. And deeper levels of consideration and compassion for ourselves and the natural world are at the core of this trend's objectives of serenity, balance, and preservation. Many Japanese traditions can provide us with the wisdom to create balance within ourselves and our homes. Therefore, we look to East Asia this season, seeking to cultivate calmness both inside and around ourselves. Grace and composure. When you remove the unnecessary, the meaningless and excessive aspects of your life, your true nature is revealed. It leads to an aspiration to live with products and in spaces that have integrity, essentially that complement your new composed state of mind that people are seeking. This is partially achieved by making a knowing commitment to honest materials and products that transcend the season's fast fads. Natural, durable, ethically sourced, sustainable, responsibly designed, carefully crafted, that allow us to have a longer relationship with them. And there's a heightened sensitivity too with regards to materials, products and structures being appropriate and congruent and sympathetic in relation to the places that they're located. On the international catwalks, references to traditional Japanese dress are becoming more pronounced and being featured across a broad spectrum of designers' collections. Yes, this sees the adoption of kimono silhouettes and obi belts and wide sleeve shapes, but it also involves informal yet sophisticated gathering and ruching and layering that result in robe-like ensembles with deceptively simple constructions. Shibori and sashiko elements, these are decorative dyeing and stitching techniques, also have a role to play, and there are high necklines and more often than not, long, modest dress lengths. Comfortable clothes here that support our efforts to be comfortable with ourselves. Here you can see the trend board we've created to showcase the main aesthetic values of this trend. There's a reserved mood, elegant, controlled, understated, with a mysterious sense of almost separateness and serenity. It's partially due to the influences of traditional Japanese arts, crafts and architecture in terms of structural lines, the modest use of materials, a disciplined approach, and the desire to achieve perfect balance. There are new methods of production for old materials, wood, pottery, glass, stone, always beautifully manufactured, displaying ingenuity in terms of construction and form, whilst new materials are treated with equal respect because they are meticulously crafted. Here luxury comes in the form of space, light, order, quiet. And these are qualities that are accessible to most of us, inexpensive, but priceless in their capacity to rejuvenate the soul. A quiet, understated certainty and serenity pervades this trend's palette. It begins at the top with a raked gravel grey that references Japanese dry landscape gardens. Beyond this is a river-washed faded denim blue and cool celadon, and they lead us out to forest green. There's a flash of koi red glimpsed in the middle of the palette, and then larchwood, weathered gold, and muted peach blossom add a modern touch of luxury. Dark, inky indigo and charred black complete the composition of this landscape of colours. On the next 3 pages, you'll see images and information about the materials, patterns and shapes that define this trend style. But in brief, natural, honest, eco-conscious materials set the tone of integrity. Grooved and ridged surface textures are reminiscent of raked gravel gardens. Glazes are speckled and crackled. Textiles are dry and robust, shibori and sashiko techniques coming to the fore. Pattern mixes, layers and merges nature and geometrics. We see waves, ripples, hillsides, mountains, blossom and birds, fish and stylized iris flowers that are balanced by fine stripes, rounds of colour, repeating lattice work, arced fans and scales. Shapes showcase intricate folds and origami constructions across many different materials. Kamiko lattice work, which you can see over on the left-hand side of this page, and also slatted constructions are also present. Uchiwa fan shapes also inspire simple forms of lighting, furniture and accessories. Here everything is a balance between the strict and angular and the rounded and curving. Let's take a quick look at the previous season's trends that this trend has evolved from. The Spring-Summer 2018 trend Organic Future gave some hints of a resurgent interest in Japanese design qualities within the interiors sector. And aspects of the Peacemaker, which was from the Fall-Winter 2019-20 forecast, also included Far Eastern influences, but with a greater degree of rawness and wildness at its core, compared to the control and the balance and the composure of the Satori trend for 2020.